I am sure sports. You know me there. I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right. Good evening. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. It is the 3rd of January 2023. You have made it to day 3 in a brand new year, so you gotta give thanks. Want to welcome you all to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Manningsman, and tonight, I don't know when this channel, when we officially started, one of the first high-profile persons to come onto our platform was Alfredo Montesso, and he's back again, right, in light of Brazil's exit from the World Cup and the passing of Edson Arantes do Nascimento. Pele, we're going to speak to him. The last time when we spoke to him, he was at International, if you remember that. So there are some new ventures with him. We're going to discuss that with him. But before we bring him on, I want to just do a couple of things, right? For this one, we're going to do it in such a way that you can call in and engage him and ask a couple of questions relating to football and Pele and Brazil. And all right, so we're going to have that in the last segment of the show. All right, but here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Once you come onto the platform, please take some time to hit the like button, to share, and to subscribe. All right, those 3 things are very important. If you desire to support the channel, you can do so through super stickers or super chats. All right. Big thank you to the sponsors of this video as well. The sponsors of this video, they are Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it the most. Prestige Finance is located in Linstead, St. Catherine, Jamaica, and they're offering you loans of up to 100,000 Jamaican dollars, right? There's no processing fee, same day processing, and 0 to 4% interest rate. All right, so you just let them know that you heard about them from I Am Sure Sports. You can reach out to them at 876-884-7390. Also to Launch Legacy, where they handle risk and they seek legacy for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA. Visit Launch Legacy at launchlegacy.com or call or text Launch Legacy at 647-989-0782. Launch Legacy is that place that when you stop working for money, Launch Legacy will help you to get your money to start working for you. I'm always intrigued and delighted when I have great football in minds so we can discuss football. And Professor Alfredo Montesso, who has worked with our Reggae Boys, had successful coaching and technical leadership skills here. Reigns here in Jamaica, also worked in Trinidad and Tobago. So really, really instrumental in our football. Worked alongside Professor Rene Simous. You know, in 1998 we had a historic World Cup campaign, and just the years after that, we have had many of successes. Like in that period, we haven't seen some of that on the male side, and you know, we're just going to talk to him, like I said, predominantly on what is happening in Brazil with Brazil's football. This is now from 1998. Yes, we haven't seen France defeated Brazil. 2002 they went back and they won. In fact, it was the first time the World Cup was going back to South America, Argentina, which means that now it is 20 years, and 2026 will be 24 years since Brazil has not tasted glory as it relates to the World Cup. I don't know if there has been a longer World Cup drought for the nation of Brazil since 1954, when they, when that Pele team actually won it. I can't remember if they've had such 1958, I believe it was. I don't think they have gone through such a long stretch without laying their hands on the World Cup. But the one who know all about it is here, Professor Alfredo Montesso. Welcome to Virtual Jamaica, Coach.
Thank you, Manning. This is my pleasure to be with you again. As you said, I was one of the first inviters to be in your show. And for me, always a pleasure to be talking to you, to the Jamaicans, the land I learned to love, and of course is in my mind every time.
Awesome. How have you been doing? How is the family? Just how have you been doing personally? In good health? Family is good?
Yes, everybody's okay here. And, we thank God for that we keep together. We are spending some more time after how we pass in the COVID time, so this is a blessing to be together and everyone's health. This is what I wish to everyone as well.
Yeah, awesome. Now, let's just talk about a little bit of personal stuff where you're concerned. The last time we were here, you were with International. I think at that time you were close to the playoffs and semifinals. You were heading into that. You're in very good position in the junior team to make it to right. How did that work out? How did the tournament there? How did you? Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I spent 10 months in International, and I was the technical director of the youth program, and we took International by this time last year as a Brazilian champion, and champion of the Copa do Brasil as well. So this gave us the opportunity to take the under 20 team to the South America, to the Copa Libertadores. This was the first time we participate in. This was in Ecuador. We had some problems preparing the team because we were, right now in the beginning of the year, we play one of the most important or large youth tournament in the world, that we call Copa São Paulo.
At this time of the year?
This time of the year, just start 2 days ago. And last year we were participating in the Copa São Paulo, more than 200 teams play this tournament right now. This is to celebrate São Paulo City anniversary, and this is the most famous youth tournament that we have in Brazil. Tournament that brought to the football Robinho, Neymar. Neymar played that competition as well.
Oh,
So the guy that left Brazil right now, not left Brazil, but he was sold
to
from
Real
Palmeiras
Madrid.
to Real Madrid.
Hendrik.
He was playing last year.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hendrik. I think his name is.
Hendrik, Hendrik.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still
Oh,
in Palmeiras, but he was in the team. We lost in the quarterfinal for Palmeiras. You know,
so Neymar came through that tournament as well.
every one of them. Every one of them.
Oh,
Ronaldo played this tournament, and this is more than 50 years that São
I've
Paulo.
been doing this. Was this
Yes,
a tournament that Pele was playing in when he was spotted? Because Sao Paulo won a lot of youth tournaments in his time when he was playing for the regular little club. I think this Sao Paulo, the juniors, it's a different tournament.
I think Pelé never played a youth tournament. With 15, he was 16 to 16. He was in Santos in the professional team, so nobody allowed him to play youth tournament. Never.
Okay, okay. So this youth tournament, you said over 200 teams. They all coming
Yeah,
to Sao Paulo for this tournament.
they all of them come to São Paulo, and they spread in many cities in São Paulo. So every city hosts now four teams. They play, they qualify for the four teams, and then this become a one leg tournament after this round. So everyone
Or
come to
like
São Paulo.
knockout. It's a knockout
Yeah,
after this
knockout,
round. Right.
knockout.
Mm.
Sorry, knockout competition. And then last year, Palmeiras was the champion. This is one thing that all the other teams, they joke with Palmeiras because Palmeiras has has 11 Brazilian championship, but never won Copa São Paulo Futebol Junior. So every other teams joke with them. So the last year with Hendrik, they got the champion, and this one title that they never had so
Had
far.
before. What
Yeah,
is the age group? Is what? Under 17?
no, under 20,
Oh, under 20. Under
under
20.
under 20.
Okay, okay. All right. Awesome. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So now you're actually with your the actual business that you started before you went to international,
Yeah.
you have come back to that. No.
Yes, I was here in Rio Claro, back in Rio Claro after the pandemic and the lockdown and everything. So I have decided to be a little bit closer to my home, and then I opened this business. And suddenly, when the business started running, I got the invitation to go to international, and I spent 10 months, as I said to you there, and. As the business was in the starting, I have to decide to drop out a little bit from international. They never went that I come back home, but I said to them that I need this time to be close to the business, to set up some things to allow the business running along to my presence in the city. So today we have around 100 kids in this school academy, and we have other sports as I don't know if they are playing Jamaica, but they are playing beach tennis here in Brazil. So football,
Beach
yeah, beach
tennis.
tennis, yeah.
Oh, that means with the football, but it's football.
No, it's a tennis played in the beach. Yeah, it's
Whoa.
very nice. So many people are playing that game right now,
But
and
do you use a football to play it or a regular tennis ball?
tennis ball with rackets and everything.
Oh,
So
oh.
yeah, we have as well volleyball, beach soccer, and foot volley as well in the complex. So
Okay.
we running classes and preparation for this sport, and pretty much it's organized right now. And I think that I will be able to return to football soon as I set up some things already there.
Yeah. Yeah, we also have Freddie Butler just you remember Freddie was part of the 1998 World Cup campaign. Think he was one of the translator because he worked with the team, so he could speak. He speak the most languages in that team, so he just sent in a super.
Yeah, because in the time when I met my good friend Otman Butler, he was playing in Portugal,
Oh
and
yes.
he pretend to speak a little Portuguese. So, and he was my translator by the time. I never speak one word in English when I arrived in Jamaica in '96. So Butler was so kind, a person that helped me
Yeah.
so much, and then I am really thankful and grateful for the help that he gave me by this time, and we got so very close. We keep in touch until today. Time ago, I spoke with him with plans to bring some boys from Jamaica, from America to Brazil, and exchange some experience as well.
Oh yeah, he's
We
in
keep in touch, we keep in touch.
he's in Florida in Mako
Yeah,
Football
I know, I
Academy
know.
out there. Yeah, 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 yeah. That would be nice though for some of those guys. All right, so let's see. He'll probably will chime in. He has a link, so he will come on. So we want to get into just kind of know because see what we can learn here in Jamaica. So Brazil, as you know, that in Jamaica, the team outside of the Reggae Boys, some people even believe that Brazil has more support in Jamaica than Jamaica does as a football team, right? So I want you to talk to because I mean, there are communities. I don't know if you saw the videos. If you're exposed to what was there are
Yeah,
communities with motorcades and parties and celebrations for Brazil, and when they got eliminated, like most people didn't want to watch the rest of the World Cup in Jamaica because Brazil was out. But we have been seeing this for quite a while with Brazil. Many thought like this was, in terms of offensively, this was probably the best assembly of stars since the Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and the Ronaldinho and these guys, and the Nelson and those guys, right? But they really haven't won anything for Brazil.
yeah.
So talk to us about that and Brazilian football and what is going wrong, what needs to be fixed before 2026.
First of all, for me, Jamaica supports Brazil was not a surprise, because I know Jamaica, and then I know how Jamaicans love Brazilian football, and then this was not surprise because many videos around the world, and when I take a look in the videos, I could say, listen, this is Jamaica, even without any sound, because I knew where they were doing the videos, so this was not surprise for me. And as you said, we are struggling to understand the situation, because, as you said, Brazil, I believe that was this World Cup was one of the World Cups that Brazil had more chance to win than any others that we play, because, as you said, the Brazilians, the team that we put together, and I think that the hopes that Brazilians have, especially with the political moment that we have in Brazil right now. We are very divided. We are very polarized. But football is something that brings us together, as we have in Jamaica back in '98. So we have different parties in Brazil fighting politically, and football has this it's prerogative to bring everyone together, you know. So
Yeah.
football can do it in Brazil as did in Jamaica back in '98, and we were hoping that Brazil could get a better a better a better result in the competition, and unfortunately we didn't have. So it's not so easy to explain why Brazil with Neymar, uh,
Vinny Jr.,
Junior,
Richarlison.
Charlison, and all those guys, especially with a solid defensive system
Yeah,
with Thiago Silva
and two of
and
the best
Kim,
goalkeepers in the world.
one of the best one. It's not so easy for us to explain that, you know. But I believe that some things that we made some mistake in the system itself, you know, because if in my perspective, if we brought to the system that Brazil was playing with Vini Junior for one side and Rafinha to the other side, we have always two extreme guys or two linkers to play with opposite leg from
Right,
from
from each side.
from each side, and then especially in the game that we got out from Croatia, we Brazil didn't work well in the system and was not able to assess the goal or create some more opportunities to do it, you know. And then suddenly we changed Richarlison from Pedro, and we changed
Yeah,
Rodrigo from Vini Junior, and we changed um,
Rafina,
per
Fred, Paqueta. I think Paqueta came out as well.
yeah, but what we did, you know, we never changed the system. We just send we just change the pieces in the game. So we never create another situation to to create that opportunities that we have found try to find in the game, you know. So in my point of view, I believe that Anthony came for Rafinha. Sorry, I was
Right,
forgetting Anthony name. So if you understand what I mean, we change one left foot from right side, and we for another left foot from right side. We change one right footer from one side from left side, and we put Rodrigo with another left right
right
foot
foot
from the same
from left.
side.
Yeah.
So we never change any kind of. We never try to create any time kind of surprise for Croatians because they were set up to mark Brazil in this situation, you know. So when we put Pedro inside the game, Pedro from Flamengo is a very good header. You know, the guy is strong. He play as a pivot in the middle. He plays at the core in the area, and he knows how to do this dirt work in the game. So, but to make that ball get to him, I believe that we should, in this time, try to change some situations in the game and
Right. So
create
you probably could play more long balls across into the box.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what I mean, man, is if we have a right footer to play in the right side, or
He's going to
sorry,
cut inside.
we should change and try to do something, even with the same pieces in the game, you know, to try to surprise the opposite team. So every time we say to the players that we never can we never have to play the game that the opposite team is waiting for us to play. We believe that we have to get a B plan in the team to be surprising the opposite team. And I believe that we didn't have this situation. It's very strange for me because Titi had 6 year program to achieve this moment right now. I
Yeah.
don't believe, I don't remember any coach with this long term, this long period with the team. you know. And to be honest, in my point of view as a coach, né, analyzing these things as a coach, when we have to change Militão from the game, you know, to change one piece, we have to make or make change
Three
or
adjustments on the field.
adjustment in another two piece, you know. So, in my point of view, if he took Daniel Alves to the team,
Play him.
in this time Militão is out, it's simple change to change Militão. Okay, guy, you tired? You get out. Daniel, come here. This is your position. This is where you play along your life, especially in Barcelona. You know, a guy with this experience, with the time or the titles that Daniel had, I believe that he could bring some more experience or some more. Because if you remember, we took the draw against Croatia by the right side in the same position as we changed Militão, you know.
Yes.
So we had Danilo for the left side, we have Militão in the right side. Then we changed Danilo to the right side to put Alexandro in the left side. So we changed two positions to adjust the team for one change, you know. So this is, for me, I believe was crucial, especially in the game, you know, because if World Cup, you are not allowed to make too many mistakes. You know, we have to be simple. We have to adjust. I believe that if you ask me if I believe that Argentina deserve to be world champion, I believe that yes, they deserve, especially because they had one guy that overcome his physical condition to play and concentrate himself to play this competition. That is Messi. But to be honest, this was not the best team Argentina put together for the World Cup, you know. So in my point of view, we lost a great opportunity to put the star number 6 in our jersey in this World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, a lot of those sound like, just challenges in terms of decision being made by the technical stuff. I know that he lost. He's one of the coaches that after the World Cup, maybe this is how the cycle works. That if after the World Cup, most coaches normally, lose their jobs. It's just transition time, all of that. So, but if there's any consolation, it is that there was a string of young players, like almost, with the exception of Neymar, who could still come back, almost all the players who were playing up front in that Brazil team could come back for the next World Cup at their prime or at their peak, because there's such a young core of players. Yeah.
Many of them, because if you remember when we lost to
Cameroon,
we had an average of 22 years old in the team. So the team was pretty young when we lost that game, you know. So I believe that we still have a solid core of players to be back in 2026. I don't know what's gonna happen now, because what happened, Titi, he made an announcement before the World Cup that he was ending his cycle after the World Cup. So he was not fired by the Football Federation. He resigned even before the competition. He said that this will be his last competition with the team.
Oh, so he actually resigned before the World Cup.
Before the World Cup, and I don't think that this was a good sign to the players as well, you know, because I don't know the type of message you send to the team when you come to say that this will be your last competition with the team. I really don't know.
But when I think the last time Brazil won, so two key players in that team with the Rivaldos and the Ronaldo and the Ronaldinho and were Cafu and Roberto Carlos. So what that meant is that the wide players up front could come in and leave the width to the wing backs. This Brazil team never did that. The wing backs didn't have anywhere to go because the wide players up front were just always out there wide. So it just made the team very easy to mark. Easy, the opponent easily marked them, easily trapped them, easily read what they were going to do. And there was nothing really happening. There was no creativity. I feel like, where is the Brazil? I didn't even see any flair. Normally you'd see some flair from a Brazilian team. I don't know if too many of them are in Europe, and all the flair and the fancy stuff is all gone out of the Brazilian game. You didn't see any of that. You didn't see wingbacks booming down the flanks and putting balls into the box. You didn't see your wingbacks firing shots at the edge of the box and curling them in. Nothing like that. It's just like this is a new way of Brazil to play football, and it's not the samba style that we are used to here in Jamaica and other places in the world. What do you say about that?
Well, we have to understand one thing, when we played German and we lost 7-1 here for German, this was a crucial time for Brazil, because here in Brazil we start to say that our coach, they were not the same anymore. We had to think about why we are not coaching in the high level anymore. So was a mess here, that 7-1 that put us in a situation that the Brazilian coach, they start to running to be update. They went for many courses, and then the old guys, they were not better anymore. So the transition that we made to the core of coaches that we have working in Brazilian competition right now was not something prepared by the Football Federation, in my opinion. So if you take the Brazilian Championship today, we're gonna start in 2 months. 2 months we start the Brazilian Championship. Okay, so now we are preparing themselves. They are in pre-season, and they start to play a regional competition. So São Paulo has their own competition, Rio de Janeiro has their own competition, Rio Grande do Sul, Bahia. So we have 23, 24 state
regional, right?
Okay, so regional. So this time, when we're going to start in 2 months, 2.5 months, the Brazilian Championship, they will start with 20 teams in the Serie, in the first league, okay, in the Serie A, we call it here, and we have 20 teams. 10 of them, they have Brazilian coach, and another 10 of them, they have foreigners coach right now. This never happened in Brazil before.
Whoa.
So they
that's
are
a 50% split?
50% split right now. So we have...
Are these coaches from Europe or from other South American countries?
7 Portuguese coaches, 1 Argentinian, 1 Uruguayan, and 1 Colombian coach.
7 Portuguese.
7 Portuguese. I think the language helped that,
Okay.
Because as we speak Portuguese, so the language helped a lot.
And so this has never happened. This is the most you have ever had.
Yes, this has never happened before. Never happened before. And what happened? I believe that I'm not against that, because I could not, because I was foreign when I went to Jamaica. So I believe that this is a good thing when we open the market, we exchange experience with these guys, with another culture when they come here. So this is good, but this is something that we have to realize that never happened before. And Brazil is we are adjusting ourselves in this situation right now. So um, when we talk about the Brazilian national team, we are is struggling now. If you observe, Tite resign just right as I said to you. He announced before. So once the competition finished, he was out of the Brazilian national team. We are almost a month ago from the elimination of the World Cup, and we didn't announce the Brazilian coach yet.
Oh,
So
there's no new coach yet.
there
Oh,
is no new coach yet because even now, a foreigners coach are being searched to
interviewed.
be in the national team. So
Oh,
one of the
has
most
a foreigner ever coached the Brazil national team?
never before, never before,
Oh,
and
okay.
we have a Brazilian, a Portuguese coach that is in Palmeiras right now. He's the Brazilian last year Brazilian champion. That is Abel Ferreira, okay? And everyone is talking about him to be the next Brazilian national team coach.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
So
will that be
that's what
accepted?
happened.
Will that be accepted by Brazilians though? The general Brazilian public see that this has never happened. Pele has passed, and maybe they are thinking we need to win the World Cup, the next World Cup. You're getting a European to coach us, all of that. I mean, is it? Do you think it will be accepted by the? Although you have the Copa America before all of that goes on. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts? Yeah.
Brazil has no problem with a mix between other countries or other people. We are very friendly as Jamaica, as
Yeah.
Jamaica. I used to say that was nice to me for me to live in Jamaica because Jamaica was really really um, like Brazil, So we have no problem with that. It's just a matter for the Brazilian football market, the coaches that are here, and especially the Brazilian, because we never had a Brazilian, a foreigners coach in the national team. So I believe that we will accept this situation, especially because we have to understand that for uh, one long period of time, we just I believe that some of the quotes they just lay down in the position that we were the best in the world as the best players in the world. We still export a lot of players, but this is equal around the world today. So we have
Yeah.
good players around the world. So Brazil is still playing good football, is still exporting a lot of players, but we have to understand that uh, we need to give one step ahead, especially in the coach area. You know, we need to open our mind, and I believe that we are doing that right now. You know, most of the coaches they are looking for recycling. This is one thing that we never did in Brazil. We are always think that, or we okay, we play good football, so we coach better than anyone, and then we realize in the modern football today, if you don't have this kind of leadership to share with or to deal with the difference inside the group and and understand that we are getting a different generation of players that we had before. So before here in Brazil, we say to Pele, Pele, do that and don't question what I say because So the guys they're going to go there and do it. So, but the generation today is completely different, and then we have to realize that we have to assess science for football because there is no way to be a side of science anymore. Football needs science as science needs football, in my point of view. and I believe that we're gonna have to pass this time to have a foreigners to be our coach here in
Yeah.
Brazil, learning with them, get from the culture, and then get back in the scenario again as the top coaches in the world.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll say though is that, and this history will be against, if this is actually where Brazil goes, history will be against them, because no nation has ever won the World Cup with a foreign national coach.
Yes, true, true.
so,
Yeah.
uh,
And
so, so
to be honest, money. What happened is that eh, nobody's seeing a scenario right now here in Brazil for any Brazilian coach in the national team because we had Tite and
and he was touted as one of the best in Brazil.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But what happened is that to be honest with you, I don't know what Brazilian national federation will
Yeah.
do.
Is the federation under any pressure? Sometimes when football isn't going well, the federation, a lot of people begin to look at the governing body. Is the federation being questioned about their leadership and their investment in providing what is necessary for the team to be successful, or it is just the players just never showed up, or it is the coach who made the mistakes? Where is the greater portion of the blame being thrown right now?
To be honest with you, I think the blame is in the system itself, you know. So um, we had some in the past um, football federation presidents to be excluding from the football corruption and well, this is something that we lost leadership in the football federation. Um, the last Brazilian or the last president of football federation in Brazil, he was rejected by um,
FIFA.
no, not FIFA. He was he was charged by assaulting or insulting. I this sorry because my English is not
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
not practicing the English right now, man. So sometimes the words just disappear from me. But he was um, he was charged by being molesting some
Okay.
women in the
National
national
program.
federation.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
So it was a scandal here in Brazil, and
He had to resign.
he has to resign, and we have another football president right now. You know.
Yeah, somebody's saying that Leonardo, I think is a good candidate. That's a former Brazilian player.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but
Leonardo, if you ask a Brazilian here, a Brazilian will say to you that Leonardo needs to decide if he wants to be the coach or if he wants to be a general manager. So you understand what I
oh
mean?
yes, yes, yes,
Because
yes.
he got a coach, then he just dropped out and he started a different rules in the club. So they will say that they will prefer a coach that is working right
Yeah,
now with,
yeah,
is producing something or
yeah,
this is
yeah.
what they will say.
All right.
I
So
don't know. I don't know. You remember back in the days when Dunga
right.
got the team, he had a leadership that nobody contests, especially in the '94 national
Camp.
team,
Yeah.
no campaign. And he was never coached any other team. And the first team that he coached was the national team. So maybe can appear a player like that. Titi had Cesar Sampaio beside him. I don't know if you remember Cesar.
Sampaio. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, midfielder, and but I don't think Sampaio has the characteristics to be the coach of the national team. But anyway,
Yeah. All right. So on a different, I mean, right up on the back of being out of the World Cup, seeing Argentina, your rivals, um, yeah, from South America winning the World Cup. Good that I said that it is no longer in Europe but in South America. Hopefully, can stay there for a couple of cycles. But on the back of that as well, uh, Pele, who is also loved by many Jamaicans, one he even came here for a game, which Jamaicans always remember. He also passed. I mean, it's like your morning being out of the World Cup, and then one of the great people say he's the greatest of all time, um, passed, having battled with, several ailments and stuff. I think somebody's saying that Leonardo, the coach at AC Milan, Leonardo.
yeah.
I think, yeah, he coaches at AC Milan in Italy. Yeah, he's the same one. Is he a coach or a general manager? That's what coach is saying. He has to decide which one.
Back coach now.
Yeah, he's coaching at AC
That's
Milan.
just coaching right now. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So what is the impact of Pele on just Brazilian football, and what does his passing mean to the nation of Brazil?
Meaning the impact of pass of that what happened with Pelé is something that we can't measure, So the feelings that we have today is that we lost a member of our family, especially the guys in the football community. Pelé was not only remembered for what he did, but is someone that unbelievable. He is remembered for what he didn't make it, So the goals that he lost sometimes is they are in the memory of anyone. So what I say, everybody is remembered by the goals that they score.
Yes.
And Pelé sometimes he is not sometimes Pelé is remembered not only for the goals that he scored, but the goals that he didn't score as well, because what he makes was something by the time that he played something amazing, like a genius that were in there. So we cannot, as a Brazilian or as a footballer, I'm not talking as a Brazilian right now, but as a footballer, we cannot compare with Pelé with any another player. Cannot compare Pelé with Maradona, cannot compare Pelé with Ronaldo, cannot compare Pelé with Cristiano Ronaldo, with Messi, because to achieve 3 World Cups, I believe that we're going to have to born a player that will get this achievement that Pelé did. I believe that is something that is, nobody will achieve what he did. But it's not only that. Pelé was a legend to the world. So I believe that Pelé, when he put his face in the screen, he never need any legend, because everyone knew him.
Yes.
And of course, for what he did for the football, but from the person that he was as well. I remember when he visited Jamaica back in '98, he was a minister of sport in Brazil. And he arrived in Kingston for the Santos game, and he was in a trip with his duty as a minister, So he got tired in Jamaica, and he went for the Brazilian embassy. We met him there, and he was expecting many Brazilians and Jamaicans in there. and he was really tired, and he needs to rest, but he had a patience and the charisma to be touching and sign and photograph with each of one that was in the Brazilian embassy by the time, So this is something that was his personal behavior. So it's not only as a footballer, but as a person, he was something amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, what is Brazil doing to remember his legacy? Know that he has passed. What are some of the things, like in Sao Paulo, where he's actually from? You know, I know his mother is still alive, but
100 years.
100 years, yes, yes, yeah. I know the funeral service was also, the memorial was also massive. But what are the plans? How does this inspire? The Endrick, I think his name is just going to the Neymar. How does this even inspire this Brazilian team that didn't win the World Cup to even just prepare themselves to go to 2026 and do it for such a legend?
I hope that we had a plan for that, Manis. To be honest, I am very, very disappointed with the Football Federation, with the Brazilian national team right now, because his funeral went for the world, and I know many of the players, they are in Europe in his duties right now, but we didn't see any of the Brazilian players, representatives from the football or the staff, Tite as the last national coach, his staff or any other players came for his funeral.
Whoa.
This is something for me, it's unbelievable, very disappointed. This should be something.
So no, from that World Cup, not even Dani Alves.
No, none of them. None of them.
No, whoa, that's strange.
To be honest with you,
And no one from the coaching staff.
nobody.
Whoa.
And of course, all the players that play with him back in 1970, and players that play with him in Santos, many of former players, Careca,
Garrincha.
Garrincha is dead right now,
Yeah.
So,
Careca. Socrates.
Socrates dead as well. Would not come. Would not come.
You're talking those who are alive and would have been at the funeral. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
would be in the funeral, So this is for me sound as the Brazilian national or the Brazilian Football Federation doesn't have any plan to show that legacy or keep that legacy going, as Brazilian has to praise Pele for what Brazil is in football today. I believe that we own that to Pele at least 50% of what Brazil is today is something that Pele built by his career. So if Brazilian football is recognized around the world today, Pele is the one responsible for that.
Yeah.
Because he was like a Brazilian football ambassador in everywhere he goes, and for what he did, for what he achieved. So I believe
I think like players like probably like Neymar could have taken a private jet.
Of course.
I know some of them may have had games, but like players like Neymar probably, but like the Ronaldo and the Rivaldo and those guys, they were there, and the Roberto Carlos and the Cafus. Maybe I don't know, because these guys were also treated very, very bad when they came back from the World Cup. Are they afraid of the people? Why they didn't turn up to the funeral? Like they believe that the people
No,
will attack them?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Even Titi, you know, even Titi. So the funeral has, I believe that those guys they have privilege to be in some safety place to be with the
Right,
in the
right, right.
funeral, you know. So this is for me is not an excuse, you know. Um, David Beckham, he stayed 12 hours in the line to be the queen, to see the queen in the funeral. So you know why those guys they get what they get. They have the explosion of Brazilian football, and they own that to Pelé. Why they are not there, you know? So, but anyway,
You saw Dwight. I don't know. Dwight is speaking to you, I think, in Portuguese. Lisa, Alfredo Agaro. I don't know what that
yeah,
is.
the national team is suffering right now. The national team is struggling right now.
Oh,
Mr.
that's
Dwight Spence.
yes, yes, that's what he said. Okay, so all right, so we understand the iconic nature of just Pele's life and all of that, the history of Brazil's football. I mean, it's just like I said, it's remarkable because, like, I love what you said though, that he transcends just football. It's bigger than what he did on the field. And you're right. Maybe there is no comparison to be made. He
Yeah,
sits somewhere as an icon in and of himself. Maybe in the same way Maradona is, the same way that Lionel Messi is, or whomever else you want to put there. But he is in a place by himself, and
yeah,
so are the others. And maybe that's what the world should do: appreciate each of them in their own spaces without trying to compare as to who is the goat and who is, because then you probably diminish one's career to promote another. Yeah.
yeah. So there is some good stories here in Brazil, you know. So first there is one player, Pepe, that used to play with Pelé in Santos, Vila Belmiro, should be renamed. Yes, I think so. Vila Belmiro should be renamed. And Pepe say that he was the player that scored more goals to Santos. He say, but hey, we are saying that, but Pelé has more goals than no, 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 no. Forget Pelé because Pelé is from another planet. He's not from here. Here, you know. So I am the one. Pelé don't count, you know. So he gave that interview in the funeral. He said, "I am the one that score most goals to Santos." But say, no, Pelé scored more than you. So, no, no, no. Pelé forget because he is not in that count. Pelé is from the other, from the Mart or something like that. So,
So his thing is that he has scored the most goals for Santos, because you can't put Pele in the conversation because
no,
Pele is of a
Pelé
different
cannot
planet.
be in the conversation.
What,
Another
what Go
another
ahead.
expression that we have here, man, is like as you said, Pelé transcend the sport. You know, Pelé transcend football. So we used to have an expression here in Brazil in Portuguese to call it other good sports athletes as the Pelé of something. You know, so we used to say
Right, right, right.
like
Like,
like we talk about boat. You know, we used
yes,
to
like
call here boat is
Bolt
the
is a
Pelé of
Pele, track
athletes.
and field. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So Mike Tyson is the Pelé of box. You know, so Roger Federer is the Pelé of
Of
tennis.
tennis,
So
yes.
this expression came because he transcended the football itself. You know, so he was the one to be compared with the most the better the most important athlete in every sport. You know.
Yeah. Again, I want to thank everyone for watching and for viewing and being a part of this very intriguing, informative stream as we speak here with Professor Alfredo Montesso. Thanks for all the comments, for all the persons who have liked the video, share the video. Thanks to the super sticker from Ultimate Freddie Butler. Keep on liking, keep on sharing. And so we are going to open the lines. So if you want to ask about Brazilian football, stories you want to ask Professor something about football, you can call in, and you have to speak very slowly, like he says. Sometimes the words, because he hasn't been practicing his English, the words disappear. So you have to go very slow so he can fully understand what you're saying and respond appropriately. Javon, this is Javon. He says, ask him if there's any Jamaican national player in academies in Brazil.
Well, I have been in touch with a guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he has two players in the north of Brazil playing professional football here.
Oh.
Brazil is it's a large place, So sometimes you think like I am in the in the southwest of Brazil, and the guy is in the north. Is like 4 hours flying from
Oh.
the place that I am. So I know because he got in touch with me. I can't remember his name right now. He's a agent, and he brought two guys from Jamaica to play in the north of Brazil. As I said to you, it's too far away from where I am, and I could not, because they came to play, I think, second or third division there, and sometimes he got in touch with me. Looks like that the guys there are going back to Jamaica right now, and but no, in our academy here, unfortunately, we have no Jamaicans, but I believe that could be a good idea to have some of the guys here.
Yeah, I know you said that you have been planning some things with Freddie Butler to bring some Jamaicans from the States over there. But there are probably some persons who, with the academy system that you have now, that you are back there and running, you can probably, get a couple to join you there to help with their development. But we have a caller coming in. Let's just take this call. Welcome to the show. Good evening, Pine Action.
Good evening, man.
Yeah, man, we're getting a feedback. I seem like you're listening to the show in the background.
Yes, let me turn it down.
Yeah. All right.
Wait till the coach. The big man finish talk first.
No, man, he's finished. He's waiting on you to shoot your questions so he can answer. So go ahead.
Good evening, boss man from Brazil.
Good evening, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great.
What's your name? Sorry.
Fine, I'm in here. Fine, but they call me Gunners boss. And Arsenal to the world. Gunners to the world, sir.
I know that.
Yeah, but I just want to say I respect the fact that you said Pele is a transcending figure where football is concerned. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
But you make an error when you said Mike Tyson. So what about the great Muhammad Ali before Mike Tyson?
Yes,
he was in Pele time too.
Apologize for that, man. In my point of view, Ali is the best one ever. But sometimes,
Yeah, man.
in the interview when we are talking, just the memory get back, as I told you.
Yeah.
Is struggling to talk.
It's the first name sometimes that comes to mind. It is. Yeah.
That is exactly why I called, because I know that was an error. I'm telling you, I know it was. I said, how could you go from Pele all the way up here to Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson, no, man. No. This is sorry about that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I have no problem. I have no problem, or I have no problem to ask sorry when I do a mistake like that.
It's okay. I understand. Now moving on. I was seeing where you said none of the. What do you mean when you said not one of the not present national player who went to the World Cup was at the great man's funeral?
No, man. No, none of them.
That's a disgrace. They are a great.
Your silence so much, man.
When people like Manning's man right there, if he had the opportunity to go, he would have gone to the funeral at Jamaica. That's disgraceful. That's shameful. That makes, I would never say anything to do with Brazil or about Brazil in my life again for that. And I am not one who believes Pele is the greatest player of all time. I believe Messi just nipped him, but I cannot respect the Neymars and these guys for doing such things. I don't see that. That is not possible. This is like this. Hold up. This is like Bob Marley. That Bob Marley passed away in Jamaica and no reggae artist go for his funeral. That's disgraceful.
Disgraceful, man. True.
I wonder how they feel when the world sees this and know that this was the king Pele passed and none of them attended his funeral. Neymar and all of them, they are selfish blokes.
Yeah. You know what is more? It's something that I don't understand as well, because I believe that even the federation itself should put some representatives together, and beside of the, if they don't listen, if you don't want to come now, you represent the national team, the national federation, so you're going to be there, so Titi, come here, Titi. You got paid from the Brazilian Football Federation, and 6 years you were the coach of the team, so now you represent the Football Federation as the coach in the funeral. So even the Football Federation should appear with some determinations like this, and to put aside yeah. Anyway,
it's disrespectful from the top to the bottom. Everybody from the hilltop to the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. It's disrespect for the fullest, and I don't know how people will ever say Pele is the great man and still cheer for Brazil in the next World Cup. Man, take back your allegiance from Brazil because of what they did to the great King Pele.
No, what someone is saying, which they're saying that isn't it harsh to criticize the players when they all have contracts and is in season? What I'll say to that is these I don't know about all the players, but I am very sure that Neymar could have taken a private jet.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Thiago Silva could have taken a private jet. These guys can afford it.
Where Everton, that's the reserve goalkeeper from Palmeiras.
Yeah, he's in Brazil. And Daniel Alves.
In vacation right now. Daniel Alves is not playing, in vacation right now. Everton Ribeiro. Everton Ribeiro just played a celebration game, Zico celebration game, just right before Pele died.
Yeah.
They were here. So
Pedro is also there.
Pedro is also here. All of them, they are here. They could represent those guys. I understand sometimes they are under contract and they have to play for their team. And also Neymar got red card, as he always does, in the end of the year. We got red card with a bottom of line team in France to be out of the next game and to be in the part here in Brazil to celebrate New Year's, So
this way he normally takes a red card.
Yeah, he could take a red card to come to the funeral. Man. He could take a red card to come to the funeral.
Man, Happy New Year. Just continue being great. I see you doing some great things with those interviews. Boss man, you look like a superstar out there doing those interviews with those coaches and stuff. Keep up the great work and go and feed the people and keep on building content and be great, boss.
Yeah, man, blessing. Thanks. All the best to you and Miss Camille, sir. Have a wonderful, wonderful 2023. Yeah, more life, more money.
Same to you, same to the coach, same to all families and all the people on the stream. Find a love on the same way, but when we ready, we go after and cuss it. But I mean, nothing. I mean, straight respect and we are saying for this year.
Same to you, my friend.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna hang up so some
SMS.
other people could get that some out.
Yeah, man. All right then. All right, that was fine action for your people calling in. But yeah, some people are saying they may need permission from their clubs, right? Yeah. So Chris Wayne is saying, man, is if they stop worrying Nigeria for Pele, then the Brazilian players could have taken a day from their team to attend. Even what I'm saying that even the ones in Brazil, because some players were from Brazil and they didn't. No one from the coaching staff attended.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody saying why they didn't give them something to do at the funeral. Well, that we don't know what the arrangements, what the arrangements are and stuff. So, but you can call them. But coach, what about? I mean, the club football in Jamaica is also evolving. We see, I mean, just a lot of dynamics as they're trying to get it more professional in terms of how the league is structured and played. More players are also going overseas, and I know up to recent one, Clovis De Oliveira, who you would have known, he is here. You hear that he's on the brink, possibly of being part of one of the teams in terms of coaching setup. Have those opportunity ever presented themselves to you in terms of maybe not at the national level, but in terms of at the club level with some of the clubs here? Have anyone ever reached out to you about coaching in Jamaica, or you don't have the time for that now because you're really at a different phase when you're working on your own personal, growing your own personal brand and business? I know you love Jamaica, but I mean, there is a family to take care of. So where are you where that is concerned?
To be honest with you, as I said to you, I don't stop with football. I need that time to be here, and the things is going very well now. And even I have been in touch again with International because, as I said to you, when I left there, they never went that I resigned, but I need this time, and then we still in a very good relationship. And man, Jamaica, I never got any contact for a club in Jamaica. I don't know if they think that I was just for a national team or something like that.
They
But
probably think they probably think like we can't afford him.
no, man, as I said to you, I love to work in Jamaica, and I have so many friends in the country. So my family always challenge me to be back in Jamaica because
Yeah.
they love
Oh,
Jamaica as well. So I don't know. I don't know. The door is open, and maybe one day I come to Jamaica to coach a team. It could be really really nice to me, a good challenge, and let's see. Let's see
yeah,
the
yeah.
future.
All right, let me just ask you a couple of footballing question now, because we looked at how teams like Australia, how they played in the World Cup, and Morocco who came through. We saw Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, Cameroon beating Brazil, Tunisia beating, France, Japan beating Spain and Germany. And there seem to be shifting dynamics in terms of global football where there are no longer any quote unquote small teams like is it coaching involving or what is causing this dynamic shift in terms of on any day, any team in world football can beat any team. We saw like I said, the semifinals were France, Argentina, Croatia, and Morocco. When you consider that, you had like teams like I said, like Japan going through and Australia giving Argentina a hard time. Argentina lost their first game to Saudi Arabia. Teams are so hard to break down. What are some of the things that is happening in football while we're seeing this? Is it coaching? Is it resources? Is it just players and leagues upgrade? What are some of the factors? And what is Brazil going to do to kind of make sure that they're ahead of the pack? Yeah.
In my view, what happened is that we need to understand that we live in a different world. You know, we live in a world that um, we could not imagine this conversation many 20 years ago. Okay, 24 years ago when I arrived in Jamaica back in '96. Okay, we could not imagine this type of conversation by a video call, and then you know.
Yes.
So today, this generation they have more access to information, they have more access to knowledge. So football is not a side of this, you know. So we are seeing teams uh, in equal situation because I believe that they are getting more um, in an easy way to see the better leagues in the world. So if I remember back in the times when I was in Jamaica back in '96, was really hard to see
The Premier League in England.
European Premier League.
Yeah.
Was very difficult. Or you have a lot of money to have the cable and TV and everything, you
Yeah.
know. But even though was not this easy access to everything, you know. So this for me is something that we have to consider, that all the countries now they can see the better leagues, they have access to a better training sessions, they have they are connect with high level football every time.
Yeah.
So if I take my nephew right now, you know, so what he knows about football around the world, or what he knows about the sport around the world, because of you guys, the way that you share the information by internet, you know. So this is something that everyone has access today. So if the national teams is not only if you remember, not only Argentina is the scenario, because Argentina is the world champion, but they lost to Saudi Arabia in the first game.
Yeah.
What about Germany, that in
Yeah.
the last two World Cups left in the first round and never qualified to the quarterfinals? So we are seeing some adjustment, and those big countries or those big teams, they don't if they don't realize the way that football is changing around the world, they will be in trouble to beat those teams in the world champion all the time. So if you take Morocco's for instance, and take the players of Morocco's and see where they are playing, many of them they are playing in big leagues around the world,
Yeah.
in German,
A lot of them not even born it. They weren't even born in Morocco.
yeah. So you know, so this is something that that globalization, you know, is something amazing. If you see Jamaica today, before we have in mind always to have a core of the team, or a national or a local core to support the overseas players that come to the national program. Today is something that you don't think anymore. You're
Right,
going
right.
to
That
have
is true because no, because it's hard to have a local core in Jamaica now, and here's why: because every time a player gets good, it's so easy to get outside of Jamaica and playing in Europe and those places that the ones who'd be playing in the local leagues are now moving away. They are
yeah,
moving away and they're going overseas. So every time you're going to try to build a core, and that one gets good, which would not be happening in 1998. In 1998, you didn't have so many players from your local core just moving away, moving away. So that is, yeah, that is also a very, very important point, just that you
yeah,
just made. But one of the things I want to ask, because Brazil won the Olympics, Brazil won the Olympics. So a lot of those players, as I'm saying, they have a young team heading into 2026. But what happens in Brazil? Because I don't know if probably with the exception of France, who have a lot of players going all over the world. I mean, Brazil probably has the most players of any single nation outside of a European nation playing in Europe. They have more than the Argentinians and any one of the single countries out of Africa. They have the most. You just saw, you look at like even a Gabriel Martinelli at Arsenal, Rodrigo at Real Madrid, the young one, Hendrick, that was just sold to Real Madrid. They just keep on having young players coming through the system. You know, we don't see that like in Jamaica. Is it because you have a bigger population, or is it just how football is structured there? It's gonna keep happening. So 10 years from now, Brazil will still be doing this because the system is just that, you know, the conveyor belt keeps pushing out the next one, keep pushing out the next one. What makes that happen so consistently? I think since players have been going to Europe in mass numbers, and it has not stopped.
Yeah, I believe that one thing is important to say. You know, this is something. This is 2 weeks ago. I took my family to go to the beach. You know, so just to let you understand, I am like 4 hours driving for the most close beach that we have from my house. You know, so I am the center of the country, not so close to the beach. You know, and when I got to the beach and spent a week there, 2 weeks ago, that I used to go in the beach in Brazil and see every morning and every evening in a piece of 1 kilometer of beach, you know, more than, I don't know, more than 20 football fields, you know. So there is a goalpost here, you know. One side there is one goalkeeper, and another side there is another goalkeeper from a different team. They use the same goal to play, you know. So a game is playing here, attacking here. A game is playing there, the other side attacking here. And this was Brazil, you know. And to be honest, I went to the beach right now, and I didn't see none of those things anymore. So I believe that we start losing a little bit space to the other sports, or we start to losing space for Roger Grant. I am good, man. Thank you. By space by the technology.
Is it because of the pandemic, or is technology, or did the pandemic, or it was happening before the pandemic?
I don't believe so. I believe it's because of technology. I believe it's because of violence. You know, so all those things. I believe they are pushing the youngest out of football, but we still, because we are a large population, and we still producing players, and we still doing good players, because, you know, it's something that we always had in our system here.
One question that many of us in Jamaica ask, so Bobby Firmino was not included in the World Cup squad, and many people said that, is it because Brazil must take local players in their World Cup squad at all times? Because people are saying that, listen, there are other players who are better than Pedro, maybe the reserve goalkeeper, but Everton and Pedro, they felt like there were other players who were playing in Europe who were more deserving of a call-up, including Bobby Firmino, who some thought, you know, he could have made a huge difference to the team. I mean, but some people, I know while we were watching the game, persons were saying maybe it's because there has to be at least, there's never, in fact, many persons said there's never been a Brazilian team without players from local competition on it going into a World Cup.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't believe that this is the problem, because let us take, for instance, uh, I believe that every coach has his preference for a type of player or something.
Okay.
But when we talk about Gabriel Martinelli, that is playing for United right now.
Arsenal.
Arsenal, sorry.
Yeah.
Arsenal. And when you take his career, his career, he has like 34 goals in his background as a professional player. Pedro has 48 in Brazilian national competition. I don't know how many goals Roberto Firmino has in his career right now. So what I mean, Gabriel Martinelli is not a good player. Yes, he is a very good player. But we have to think about the moment. In the moment for this competition right now, I believe that Firmino could be better even than Gabriel Martinelli. If don't talk about Pedro, because the background that Firmino has in the national
Yeah.
program is a very different one that Pedro has right now. So we are talking about a very short competition that you have no time for mistake.
Yeah.
Look, when you sit there and look for your bench, you have to say, yes, this guy can help me there. And this is my concern when he has to take one right back and he has Daniel Alves
Yeah.
in the bench and he don't put a right back. He changed the right back from one side to put another guy in the other side that he just came by from an injury.
Yeah.
So I know that is not an easy decision because there is a lot of pressure in his mind and then to do what he knows the best. But to be honest with you, I believe that 2 or 3 players deserve to be in that list and they were not there.
And I know many persons felt like Bobby Firmino was one that
Yeah.
with his experience, he normally performed well. Even some persons felt like even if it meant like dropping Everton, Pedro Martinelli, some people were saying even if it was Gabriel Jesus, you could drop him and bring Firmino for his experience, So
Especially because the moment that they are passing right now,
yeah.
and the background that Firmino has with the national team. So, but anyway, we're going to we're going to be talking a lot about this, man. But
Is
it's
is there
at the
is
end of
there
the
like
day,
at the end of like a campaign like this, is there a committee within the federation that assess what went wrong and present a report like that the people can see like so like you said, after the Germany defeat, many things were done and there was a consensus that change needed to be made in terms of the whole coaching philosophy in Brazil. Is there something set up now, like to do a post-mortem of what happened at this World Cup and to see where do we go from there? And, do coaches like you get to understand that? So at the youth level that you're at, you can probably start making whatever changes to fit into what the solution is.
I wish that could be the next step of the Football Federation, but I doubt that. I don't believe that we're going to have this report. I don't believe that we're going to have any kind of answer to the funds of football in Brazil, and this is the way that things going, unfortunately, because this could be a new step in the new generation. So find what's going on, what went wrong, and what we should do to establish a very strong program to achieve again the world champion. So to be honest with you, I don't believe in this situation in Brazil.
Is is football in Brazil one of the biggest contributor to the GDP of the country, or is it tourism?
Of course, of course. If you take the numbers that Brazil, just to be, let's just get Hendrick right now. The number that he got to Palmeiras in this transaction with Real Madrid, it's something amazing, man. It's amazing, amazing, and this is why I believe.
So it is actually one of the bigger industries in Brazil.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Otherwise, the Portuguese, they were not here. 7 of them in the national league.
Yes.
This is something good because Brazilian economy is affording that. Bring those guys, bring some like players, some good names especially from South America.
Yeah.
There's a Rascaeta we have here from Uruguay in Flamengo. Some good players, and this.
But you know what? A lot of this, because Uruguay never look so well in the World Cup either. Ecuador was a team that I think that surprised many of us. They played. In fact, Ecuador reminded us of Brazil. When most of us saw Ecuador play, it is what we expect of Brazil.
No, let me tell you, and Jamaicans, this is our fake. The real Brazil is still Brazil. Because I am afraid that Jamaicans, they start to share for Ecuador's now. Ecuador team now thinking that we are Brazil just because they wear a yellow jersey.
No, because that slick, fast movement, the speed, the pace that we're playing at. Brazil was just knock, try to find Neymar, and he does something. If he does nothing, you put it out to the wing. They try to go down, they don't. They cut it back to midfield. They go back to defense. They go to the recycle. And listen, we could.
So predictable.
So predictable. And we're saying that when is something going to change? And then when Neymar got down, we said, okay, maybe they're going to change how they play. It never is.
Manny, this is what I say to you in the beginning. Listen up. If I have a Vini from the left flank and have a Rafinha from the right flank, the two of them, Vini is right footer. Rafinha is left footer. Even chant them from the side.
Yeah.
So, but let me tell you, I feel very sad because when I remember this team, and I remember that we have Roberto Carlos, we had Cafu, we have Carlos Alberto Torres back in 1970. We had Leandro, we had Junior, H2 in the wings, in the left and right wings. I can tell you, man. I really said to have Danilo and Alexandro.
Yeah, but not only that, because I've watched those guys play in their clubs. But how their clubs play, it allows them to put a lot of balls in the box, which is how the system was set up. They weren't inverted wing backs.
Line of four.
Yeah.
Line of four.
Yeah.
Set up as a defender, only defender.
Yeah.
This is something that was my concern as well, because if you don't have this kind of support from the wingers, so you're going to still predictable, especially if you have a guy, and change pieces just playing the same way, and don't allow this guy get back in the flank or get down in the flank and cross the ball, put the balls inside 18 yards. So How are you going to create opportunities if you don't have it? Or as I said to you, all of them, they have that. All of us today, we have in a click the technology, the videos, and everything from the other team. So the
Yep.
Croatia was there, established, waiting for Brazil, you know, and just waiting for the penalty kick. So
Exactly. And Brazil just fed right into that. And I think even with the penalty kick, it's like nothing was changed. It's like Neymar normally kicks last no matter what. And I'm thinking like, come on, just no. This is a quarterfinal. Put him up first to put pressure on the opponent. Because
you have the most valuable card in the game, and you die with your card in your hands.
yeah.
You don't put no card in the table. So we die with the best penalty kicker in the world today.
Didn't kick a penalty.
Not kick a penalty. So
Yeah, coach. But listen, I know that after this interview, there are a couple of persons who are going to call and say, "Man, how can I get in touch with coach? Because maybe let me find out if I can hire him and sound. I want him. He wants to come back to Jamaica. They're going to say I have an opportunity here, and I'm going to say I don't know, because he's doing some good work there at his club. But you can reach out to him. So
a good plate of
Aki and saltfish,
and saltfish and dumpling, fried dumpling. That will be fine, man.
See here, there you go. Some good Aki and saltfish, and he'll be fine. And he'll be fine. He'll be here on the next flight. Yeah. Yeah, man. But I mean, does it make a difference? Finally, does it make a difference that does Brazil feel good because the World Cup is in South America, or they don't care because Brazil didn't win the World Cup?
No, I didn't get that question
right.
So.
Are Brazilian like, well, at least the World Cup is in South America, not in Europe.
Okay,
or listen, we don't care as long as it is not in Brazil. We don't care who wins it. It can stay in Europe wherever it wants to. But
To be honest with you, a lot of Brazilians, they share to Messi. Even that we are rivals from Argentinas, how this operate here, but many of us we share to have Messi as the world champion because he deserves it. He's a very humble guy, so brilliant player. I believe that if you take aside Pele, we could have Messi.
And maybe because he and Neymar are very good friends as well. And maybe because he and Neymar are also very good friends.
Yes, but cannot compare Messi with those guys. Neymar, Cristiano Ronaldo. Messi for me is in another shelf. Pele is we cannot put.
I see exactly like you. Listen, I just think no one can be compared to Pele. But the best of all the rest is led by Lionel Messi.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
Messi is so concentrated in his football career. You don't see none from Messi outside of his
football. You don't see him at parties. You don't see him. You have never seen those pictures of him like when you see Neymar always at some party, always doing some stuff,
or taking red card to come for New Year.
It's very interesting, right? This is a very interesting one. But I'm going to talk about locally. Well, let me just say this. So we had football over the festive season. And most of the coaches in Jamaica at the club level, you know what they complained about? They complained that the players, and many of the players were spotted, like they were out New Year's Eve and they had a game New Year's Day. They were out Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and they had a game on Boxing Day. And I'm saying that, man, like, the guys who normally are at the top, the elite guys, they are not going to do that. Like the
No.
Messis. He's not going to have a game Boxing Day and he's out partying like the night before.
Because you know what, Manny, today I believe that this generation they just want the bonus of the thing, you know. So they don't want to pay the price to achieve that. So they see Messi there, okay. So they see Neymar, they see big players that, if you take for instance, they are those big players. They are not 2% of the players that play football professional around the world, you know. So they look for those guys, and they want everything that they have, but they don't want to pay the price to achieve that, you know.
Yeah.
And the price is that, you know, the price is that when you see NBA players play in Christmas Day, when you see those players that, you know, they have a professional mind play in New Year's Day,
Yep.
and they pay the price for that because they know that this is their life, you know.
Yeah.
So, to be honest with you, Argentina, as I said to you, I don't believe that was the better team that Argentina played together ever. You know, I think that this is one of the worst team that Argentinians put together for a World Cup competition. But one thing they did, they mobilized the team around
Behind
Lionel.
Messi. Yep.
Yes, and they realized that the Messi deserved a world champion because he was criticized many times because he never achieved nothing with national team. He was a club player, and so a lot of criticism about that. And I believe what the coach did, coach put together the team around his star, you know,
Yeah.
and this works
And
very
they
well for us.
galvanized and they were all, I mean, you can see that they wanted to do this for Messi. They wanted
Yeah,
everyone on that team, they were fighting and working. It's like, I am not going to let you down.
yeah, true. That's the reality. And
Yes.
Messi, of
Yeah.
course, his correspond with his football because he does what he did, what he know how to do.
Yeah. Somebody's saying that the team management should have like institute curfews, games day in the eve. But you're a professional. If I pay you and know you have a game, I should not have to put you on a curfew for you to know that if I see you're good. You need to know that I have a game. I cannot go out and party. Simple.
Simple,
You don't need
simple
the
life.
team don't have to institute a curfew. I don't agree with that. I can't blame the management for that.
No, even
Like
though because you know what, we have to understand that, you know, football is a business, no, and to pay the salaries that those guys receive, you know, the club has to make incomings, and those incomings they come from the television exposure.
yeah,
So if they play the games in that days, it's because the clubs they need that incoming to come to play to pay their salary. So this is professional life, you know.
exactly.
So if you take for instance, you go for a hotel, you know, and you get in the door, the security will be there even in the evening time, you know, or even in the Christmas time. So they will be there. So it's not only footballers or not sportmen that play or work in those days,
Yeah,
you
because the
know.
NFL does it, like you said. The cricket team does it. Boxing Day is a big test day in cricket. The NBA does it. They have their Christmas Day game. Those guys don't go out and party before. You're a professional. You don't need a curfew. You can do that if you're under 17s and you're under 18s. But at the senior level, man, you just know you don't do that, man.
No.
So many of the coaches complain. In fact, some of the teams that lost, That was a complaint because most of
Yeah.
those teams end up
That
losing
means
games.
there's no complaint.
And you know what? A couple of them conceded in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, sure.
There are 2 games where they conceded in the first 5 minutes. And the major complaint is that most of the players on those teams were partying on the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were not mentally prepared for that.
Not mentally prepared. But coach, always such a pleasure talking with you. Such vast knowledge and always. I know you say I've not been practicing your English, but you were spot on today. Didn't miss a word, didn't miss a phrase. All things are clearly understood. And so we hope to continue our conversations. I do hope one day, at the club level or somewhere there, you can be back in Jamaica, just working with football. I know you always want to do that, and I hope somebody here is hearing because I just feel like sometimes they probably think we can't afford that. They just think Professor Alfredo Montesso, technical director, we couldn't afford him. But you never know. Maybe if you give him a call once he's available, though he has his own project. Like I said, I know if he asks his wife and kids, they would say to him, most definitely, we're headed to JA. But family and kids have to be taken care of as well. But thank you so much for making yourself available at short notice. And you can always talk to me or Javan at any time. You want to share some stuff happening with your club. You need some young talent that you want to help here in Jamaica to come to the academy to spend a week or 2 a month. We can do that as well. Just let us know how we can help in any way, shape, or form, and we're willing to do that. But I give you the last couple of minutes so you can talk to your Jamaican fan base who fell in love with you, and also Rene Simoes from 1996, and they have not forgotten all the work that you guys did to help our football from those times.
Thank you very much, Manning. It's my pleasure always to be talking with you. I believe that you play a role in the sport news in Jamaica. Very, very important. I wish all of you and Jamaicans 2023 wonderful with health, as you said, and with a lot of success. And then it's always my pleasure to be even a short note anytime. I will be here to talk about football. Is something that I love, that I live my life around that. And would like to send some regards to my friend Neville Bell, Mr. Horace Reed, people that I learned to love when I was there. Miss Judy McDonald, a neighbor that we live beside in Jamaica, that many times was our family when we were there. You guys from the press, I keep in touch with some of them, and I really appreciate everything that you did for me and my family in the time that I was in Jamaica, and is still doing right now. Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome. You know what we're going to do, Coach? We want you to we're going to do like cause we can do like a presentation where you can actually create a PowerPoint, right? And you do the presentation, right? So what we're going to do, right? We're going to work on it behind the scenes. I don't know how long it will take. So maybe we can do some football and stuff. Like one day you do something on this and you just give us some thoughts on what is periodization as an example, or
No problem.
you can tell me like what topic you'd love. And because we have so many coaches who are on as well, who'd love to learn some of those things, and maybe we can do that, like explaining periodization at the junior level.
I cannot forget my friend Tapa Whitmore. I cannot forget my friend Tapa Whitmore and Mr. Donovan Duki. My good friend as well. So
yes.
a lot of them. Many friends.
You have to also remember your interpreter, the one who was interpreted for you.
Yes, Altimar Butler.
Yeah.
Richard Edwards is one of the former Reggae Boys that he's coaching in Canada right now. Have been in touch with him as well.
Richard Edwards, short
Richard
man.
Edwards, short man.
Yes. Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well in
Yeah,
Canada.
very
He's
well.
doing well.
Very
Yeah,
well.
man. He's doing very
Follow
well.
him on Instagram. I see him coach his kids.
Yeah.
Think this guy looks like Brazilian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That is
with everything.
that is awesome, Coach. Yeah, man, big up yourself. So we're gonna do that. I don't know what topic we'll take. I'll probably reach out to a couple of the coaches, and then we can do something like that where you can, like I said, you can do something on
For
I
sure,
don't
for sure.
like periodization or
I am sure I can do it. I am sure it's
or we
fun.
can do the principles of attacking or the principles of defending. How to set up in the mid block and the importance of doing that. But let me oh geez, I saw this the other day, right? Oh, let me show it to the people, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to show them, right? I don't know if this is about you. And so I tried to get as much information as possible. So I found this about you. Let's see. Do you know this?
Don't put him in trouble, man.
Do you know this, right?
Uh,
That attacking not bad, defending 15, fitness 14, very good. These are your sofa scores, right?
well, should be.
All right. Current ability 61 out of 100, 3-star. Coaching qualification that you have a Continental Pro license. Your tactical style is Route 1. Preferred job, assistant manager. You know all of that?
Where did you get that?
I
I don't have that, man.
You don't have that?
No.
I need to send it to you.
Yeah, please.
So I have all this information on you so I could know your coaching style, your philosophy, so
And this is coming from where?
This
is coming from where?
It's from a secret location.
Okay.
But I'm going to when we end, I will send it to you so you can have it. And tell me if anything on it needs to be changed. All right.
No problem.
All right, Coach. But all the best to you for 2023, and looking forward to doing some more content with you. So be blessed and stay safe, and love for the love, grace and peace be multiplied to you and your family.
Thank you very much, man. Same to you.
All right. So there you go, people. That was Professor Alfredo Montesso. A wonderful, wonderful time, wonderful discussion with him, about Brazilian football, the state of it, and also the life and legacy of Edson Arantes do Nascimento Pele. We also spoke about some local football. Like I said, I'm going to talk to some coaches and see if we can do a couple programs where he talks about the different principles in the game, just to answer questions and to share stuff. Want to thank every single one of you, who were on. Thank you for all the comments, all the likes, all the share, all the persons who viewed. If you never made a comment, we still appreciate you watching as well. All right. It was a great, great evening. Tomorrow evening, we'll be interviewing one of the young footballers who have really done well for himself. He was at Arnett, played for Charlie Smith. Many people didn't know him. He went on. He moved up to Arnett Gardens. Had a breakout season, and now he's in Europe playing, and his team is on the verge of making some big move. Could be seeing him even playing in the Champions League. His name is Ronaldo Cephas. He will be on tomorrow. We'll be talking to him about his journey. So looking forward to hearing that. We also will we'll be giving you some JPL content in the daytime, but in the evening, we'll have Mr. Cephas on to hear his story as he shares his journey. Listen, it was good being here with you. Be safe. The third day of the year, and you're still alive. Gotta give thanks for that. So big up, big up, big up, big up. Every single one, unseen, bless up, one, you understand me? One seen, unseen. Gunners boss, up, RR, bless up, RR. The ladies who are on, bless up yourself. Omar Fowling, bless up, our cook, bless up yourself. Fresh God, Shane, yeah man, all the people, Reggie, Mr. Porter, Kevin Williams, yeah, bless up yourself. John, yeah, and Delia, Daphne Jackson was also on as well. Duckland, yeah, man, bless up yourself. Before the game, up and running. Chris Wayne, blessings, blessing, blessing. People, listen, also check out our I Am Sure Sports. Richard Stewart, up and running. I Am Sure Sports Caribbean. Go over there, please. Daphne Jackson, Dre, Any Weather. Jarvis, up. So many of you. I know. Damian Bailey. All right. Bless up yourself. What you mean, man? El Grande Ira. Up. God bless you. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, man. Rockfort. You know how it go already. Dwight Spence speaking in Portuguese. Well, typing in Portuguese, I should say. Up. All right. So, respect everyone. Love for the love. You understand me? We meet again tomorrow. Look out for a JPL content coming on. And remember to hit the like button, like, share. And if you have not yet subscribed, you have to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I am Management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And when it gets to this time, we say we are over. And we are OUT out of here.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Artist. The body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, you cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Rios, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Yeah. Someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.